Show up, stand tall, do good. As the season of giving ignites, Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, swept into our big kitchen Los Angeles, OBKLA if you will, with the Archewell team, rolling up their sleeves to prepare and pack meals for families battling the harsh reality of food insecurity. Oh, look at that. Actual royals, or should I say ex-royals who actually get it, diving headfirst into the mess of real life. Not the kind where you prance around in tiaras and wave at crowds from gold-plated carriages, but the gritty, apron-wearing, veggie-chopping kind that actually helps people. Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex didn't just show up for a quick selfie. They brought their whole crew, including little Archie and Lilibet, to crank out fresh meals for folks who could really use a break. And get this wasn't some one-off publicity stunt. It's part of their ongoing gig with the Archewell Foundation, where they've been quietly, or not so quietly if you're paying attention, putting compassion on the menu since 2020. Let's paint the picture here, because it's worth 1,000 snarky comments. On November 26, 2025, the Sussex family rolled into OBKLA, a scrappy non-profit kitchen in LA that's been dishing out over 70,000 meals a year since 2017. Founded to use cooking as a way to build skills and community for vulnerable folks, it's the perfect spot for hands-on do-goodery. Harry, Meghan Sussex and the kids donned those oh-so-stylish hairnets and aprons, none of that fancy designer nonsense, and got to work. We're talking baking batches of chocolate chip cookies that could make your grandma jealous, slicing up bell peppers and other veggies like pros, and packaging up hearty meals ready to go. These weren't just any snacks. They were high-quality, nourishing grub headed straight to places like Los Angeles Mercy Housing, the Pico Union Project, and Path. From there, the food fans out to local schools, shelters, senior centres, and other spots where people are scraping by. Imagine that, a family of 4 plus team turning a kitchen session into a lifeline for Angelenos facing hardship. It's the holiday spirit on steroids minus the fake snow and scripted speeches. But what really gets me grinning is how they're looping in the kids. Archie, at 6, and Lilibet, just 4, weren't sidelined with iPads or nannies. Nope, they were right there in the mix, helping out in ways that teach real lessons. Picture little hands arranging cookies on trays or stacking meal boxes, tiny acts that plant the seeds of empathy, kindness, and service. Meghan Sussex has been all about this from the jump, showing her brood that true power isn't in crowns or titles, it's in showing up for others. Harry, with his military background and that no-nonsense vibe, is right there too, modelling how to lift people up without needing a throne to do it. It's parenting 101 for the modern world. Teach 'em young that giving back isn't optional, it's essential. And in a city like LA, where food insecurity hits hard, affecting 1 in 5 households by the way, this kind of family outing isn't just cute, it's crucial. Now contrast that with the clown show across the pond. Oh, Willie and Katie, Prince William and Princess Kate, or whatever they're calling themselves these days, are apparently too busy grooming little George for his destined role as future king. Because nothing says preparing for life like drilling a 12-year-old on how to stand stiffly at ceremonies, wave mechanically at strangers, and memorize protocols that date back to the Middle Ages. How utterly progressive. While Archie and Lilibet are elbow-deep in dough, learning that helping the hungry beats hoarding privilege, George is getting his royal training wheels. Experts are gushing about how Willie and Katie are carefully introducing him to public engagements, like the Festival of Remembrance or Buckingham Palace veteran events. Ooh, how thrilling. Teaching a kid to salute and look solemn instead of, I don't know, actually serving meals to veterans who could use a hot plate more than a photo op. I mean, come on, folks, a quiet royal revolution? That's what they're calling it. Sounds more like a quiet way to keep the status quo chugging along, all crowns and no substance. Willie and Katie are out there setting new terms for George's position, prepping him with a smattering of appearances so he doesn't freak out when the crown lands on his head. Because heaven forbid the boy learns something useful, like how to chop onions without crying or package aid for the needy. No, better to focus on that larger purpose. You know, the one where you rule over people instead of rolling up your sleeves to help them. Sorry, your highnesses, My bad for thinking monarchy might evolve beyond teaching kids to be figureheads. How quaint, how utterly irrelevant in 2025, when the world is screaming for leaders who do good, not just look good in uniforms. Let's not kid ourselves. This isn't just about parenting styles. It's about what kind of world we're building. The Sussexes ditched the royal rigmarole precisely because they saw through the facade. Staged events, hollow traditions, and a system that prioritizes pomp over people. And look at them now, thriving in California, building Archewell into a force that tackles mental health, women's rights, and community service without needing taxpayer bucks or palace approval. OBKLA isn't their first rodeo. They've been at this for years, from supporting veterans through Invictus to aiding disaster relief. This latest gig? It's Archewell's mantra in action. Show up, do good. No fanfare, no crowns, just real impact. Meanwhile, back in the UK, Willie's Earthshot Prize sounds great on paper, but let's be real, it's more glitz than grit. And Katie? Bless her heart. She's all smiles at charity galas. But when's the last time she dragged the kids to a soup kitchen for some actual sweat equity? Sarcasm aside, okay, not really. Think about the message this sends to the next generation. Archie and Lilibet are growing up seeing their parents as equals in the fight for fairness. Meghan Sussex, with her pre-royal activism chops, leading the charge on everything from racial justice to family leave. Harry's got that Invictus spirit, turning personal pain into global gain. Their kids aren't being primed for thrones, they're being equipped for life, where empathy trumps entitlement. George, poor kid, is stuck in the royal boot camp, learning the first signs of his future role, like showing grown confidence at stuffy events. Experts say it's all about balance, but balance what? A normal childhood with archaic duties. Give me a break. If this is Willie and Katie's idea of innovation, no wonder the monarchy's approval ratings are circling the drain. And don't get me started on the hypocrisy. The royal family loves to trot out service as their buzzword, but it's service on their terms. Ribbon cuttings, handshakes, and the occasional visit to a hospital wing named after them. Harry and Meghan Sussex, they're redefining it. At OBKLA, they weren't just prepping meals, they were fostering connections, the kind that OBKLA specializes in, using cooking as therapy for at-risk groups. It's community building, not crown polishing. While George is taught to embody the larger purpose of the throne, Archie and Lilibet are learning that purpose comes from people, not pedigrees. One path leads to isolation in ivory towers, the other to real-world relevance. Zoom out a bit, and this event is a microcosm of why the Sussexes are winning hearts, and probably irking palaces. In a time when food banks are busier than ever, with inflation biting and jobs shaky, showing up matters. Archewell's not just talking, they're walking, distributing those meals to shelters where families huddle, schools where kids go hungry, seniors who deserve dignity. It's the antithesis of royal excess. Willie and Katie might seethe from afar, whispering about betrayal or whatever, but deep down, they know. This is what leadership looks like in the 21st century. Not ruling from on high, but serving from the ground up. Of course, the haters will hate. They'll nitpick the Sussexes' every move, too Hollywood, too outspoken, too everything. But who cares? While the critics clutch their pearls, Harry and Meghan Sussex keep delivering. This Thanksgiving Eve bash at OBKLA wasn't about them, it was about the community. And by including the kids, they're ensuring the cycle of goodness continues. Contrast that with George's on-the-job training, accompanying Katie to remembrance services, looking the part without lifting a finger for the cause. How noble, teaching a boy to observe rather than act. Ooh, future king material right there, because nothing says prepared like passive pageantry. In the end, it's clear who's on the right track. Archie and Lilibet are getting a masterclass in humanity, while George gets monarchy boot camp. Anyone with eyes and a brain can see it. The Sussex way isn't just better, it's the future. So here's to showing up, standing tall and doing good, without needing a scepter to prove it. Willie and Katie, take notes, or don't, your loss.